Alright YouTube, it's been a while since I filmed a trucking vlog. I'm about to head to work. It is currently 11:45 at night, close to midnight, so we're gonna head to work and start the day on the 26th, which is in 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and start driving, and I'll see you at the work site. Alright, it is now midnight. Now we're gonna be walking, starting our shift, doing our pre-trip on our truck. So let's go ahead and get ready and do that. Alright, so this is my truck. Now we're gonna have to just open it up and do our pre-trip. So as you can see, there is a few people here already. This is kind of like a night shift, but technically it's a day shift since we're starting like first thing in the morning. But I'm classified as a night shift driver. Turn on the lights. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start it up. Turn on the AC. So this is an old tractor. I believe this tractor is the make is a Mark. Has like a bulldog. Has his logo. I'll show you guys right there. And then I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. I don't know if you see, but it says like over 600,000 miles. Close to 750,000 miles. It's crazy. Crazy. This truck is so old. So I'm feeling the air pressure build up. We have a CB radio here. I never really use it. I don't really care. We have paperwork that I put in here earlier of the shipment that I got the trailers loaded with, which is just cement powder. Now, first thing we do when we come here is always paperwork. Always paperwork. So this cement job requires paper logs. I'm so used to electric logs that when I was doing paper logs for the first time, it was so confusing. But yeah, this is paper logs. You got to fill in your name, truck. You have a graph right here in case you work over 12 hours. You got to fill in the graph, and you got to fill in where you're going and what time you got there, what time you leave. Basic stuff. But when you're first doing paper logs, it's a little confusing. Got that. You got pre-trip inspection papers. Basically, you got to fill in your pre-trip and post-trip on this, so the mechanics can see it, and you got to turn it in every day. You know, I'm so used to doing electric logs that my pre-trip and my on duty and driving was on the tablet, but this is all paperwork, all manual, like old school trucking, I guess. But you know, you got to get used to it. That's how things are done around here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll catch you on the pre-trip. So much fun. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So turn off this light. I'm gonna turn on headlights and the flashers and open up the hood. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this real quick. Let's open up this hood. So we're just checking hoses and fluid. I already know windshield wiper fluid is good. Fluid looks good. Hoses look good. I mean, let's check the timing belt. Hey, tight. Just want to check the oil. I'm just gonna use the old piece of paper I have to wipe it. If I can, that is. Okay. Alright, it's good. Pretty much full still. close this up, we gotta put this latch up and then start lowering the hood. Close the hood up, start the engine back up, and walk around to check all the trailers and all that. Throw this piece of paper, this little trash bag. Push the trailer brakes. I'm gonna walk around, check the tires and trailers and all that now. So we want to make sure these handles are in a proper position. This is the pressure for the line. I don't know the technical terms right now. This is the handle for the pressure for the hose that goes directly to the tank. It's called the aeration pressure. And then there's a handle for the pressure for the line, another line pressure handle. Landing gear is good. Fifth wheel is good. So these are double tankers, okay? Like you can see, this is a trailer attached to another trailer. Then we have some gauges right there. That's to check our pressure where we unload. Everything's good. So everything's good, pre-trip is good. I'm gonna fill in the inspection paperwork, log in my time on the work log, and then I gotta go to the office and clock in. So once we do that, I'm gonna get out of here. So I'm gonna skip to the part where I do all that boring stuff and we start driving. Yeah, so I didn't really talk about it, but yeah, this is my new job. I'm a local double tanker cement hauler. That's a mouthful right there, but basically I have, like I showed you in the pre-trip, it's double trailers, tankers. Basically I would go to a cement plant, get loaded. There's valves or a hole on top of the trailer. I would open it manually. I'll show you that part when we get to it. And then I would go to my company plant to unload it with the hose, and it's really loud. Like, it's super loud because the air pressure is going, everything is it's just loud. So when we get to the unloading part, I'm gonna have to do a voiceover because I am not gonna yell over the noise because it's just very loud. So I might do a voiceover if we get to it, or I might just do like a time lapse of what I'm doing. But when we get to the loading part, I could talk because it's quiet. But so yeah, I'm gonna show you the process of loading and unloading as a, you know, double tanker cement pile driver, and the day in the life of my new job. There's nothing else to talk about. We did our pre-trip, we did our paperwork for now. Now we gotta go unload this bad boy because I did preload it the week before. So it is full. Now we're gonna start driving. When we get to the plant, we're gonna have to park right outside the dispatcher's office. We're gonna just basically hand in the paperwork of the load, and then we're gonna ask the dispatcher where he wants to unload the cement. And then we're gonna do that process back and forth, load at a cement plant and unload at my company's silos. So it's very repetitive. Is, you know, there's nothing really new, so it's gonna be the same process over and over again. It's about 1:20 in the morning, arrival time. Gonna slow down because there's like, it's hard to see, but there's a speed bump, and when I'm loaded, going on that speed bump gets really shaky. Alright, so I'm gonna go slow. Boom. Alright, let's just find somewhere to park. Turn around this side. Get really close to the right side, honestly. Park right here for now. Alright, let's go talk to the dispatcher. My co-worker unloading at one of the sides there. I'm gonna have to go to the other side. But apparently I gotta wait because one of the trucks parked right here. I gotta go make a right and then make a left. It's a really tight turn, so I gotta wait for this truck, honestly. So I'll go ahead and wait. So this is the whole process of unloading at these plants. Sometimes when it's busy, there's not really too much room to park or turn. So you basically just gotta wait around until you find a spot to turn around or all of that. So now I gotta wait for the tractor over there to move because it's a tight turn, there's no space. I gotta wait for that guy. You know what? I'm gonna go ask them. I'm gonna go ask them if they can move. Is it possible, or how long is it gonna wait here?
What happened?
They want me to go to Plan B. Okay. So I'm gonna have to wait. This is usually the process, is waiting around for like an hour or two before getting unloaded. But I get paid by the hour, so it's whatever. So yeah, the dispatcher told me I just have to wait for the tractor to move because apparently there's some issue going on. And we got 2 cement pile drivers on the Plan A, so that won't be free for another 2 hours. Yeah, this is, you know, getting my hours in, you know. It's alright. It's pretty chill, honestly. You're just waiting around. And one of the other dispatchers is angry. But yeah, I was just waiting around chilling. I have enough room to maneuver around, so let's go ahead, wait for this guy to walk. One of the dispatchers is angry at the other dispatcher because they had one of the yard workers do something. But yeah, I mean, it's all good, it happens. Yeah, this is a tight turn. I gotta make sure I have room to turn, which I do. But I noticed that double trailers are easier to make tight turns. Focus here. It is super narrow. My first time kind of parked here. I was scared. Kind of used to it now, but I still gotta be careful, you know. Don't be too cocky. And also there's a dip on my left side, so I gotta make sure I don't hit that. left a little bit. All right, I think that should be good. Go ahead and set it up. So like I said, it's really loud. So when I do unload this, I'm probably just going to do a voiceover because the noises here are extremely loud. If I'm gonna talk over the camera, I'm gonna have to be low-key just screaming, which I don't want to be. I'll be looking stupid if I'm screaming just to talk to the camera. So I'm gonna do a voiceover, and plus I'm sure you guys don't want to hear a bunch of gears and hoses and air like blowing and it's super loud. I'm sure that won't sound great on the camera. So yeah, I'll just do a voiceover and I'll show you what the job is like as a cement hauler, unloading and loading the truck. Pretty easy. I can talk right now because it's not too loud, but here, I'll show you the process. Okay, actually loud. I'm gonna do a voiceover. All right, guys, like I said, I'm gonna do a voiceover of what I'm doing. Basically, I'm gonna turn on the valve for the tank, and then I'm gonna turn off the blower, which basically releases the air pressure from the tank. But we want that turned off. If we don't want air pressure to be decreasing, we want it to be increasing. Now, we're gonna take off the lid for where the hose goes, and then we're going to insert the hose, and this is where all of the powder will be sucked out, and it goes through the hose into the silos right behind me. So we're going to close the latches, make sure that nothing falls off when everything's turned on. Yeah, so I'm just hammering it down, double checking everything, and then the next step, we go into the truck. We're gonna go turn on the switch that's called the PTO. We also got to turn this off so it can let pressure go to the back of the tank. So yeah, like I was saying, PTO, we got to turn that on, and then we got to set it, the cruise control, to 8 RPM. It's recommended to do this process. The PTO basically activates the suction and building up the air pressure for the tanks properly. That's what we're doing right now. Now we're gonna walk to the rear tank. We always unload the rear tank first. I'm looking at the air pressure to hit minimum 5 PSI for the tank gauge. You can't see it, but I can see it. And then when it does, I'm gonna turn on the lever for the tank line, and then we're gonna turn on the lever to let airflow go into the hose. Now you can see the hose wiggling, the cement is starting to get sucked out. And then from here, we just watch the gauges. We're gonna adjust the air pressure back and forth. You know, we want the air pressure to be between 10 to 15 to expedite the process. But now that we have air pressure moving up as what we want, we just wait around and get things done. You know, it's just a waiting process, just making sure you look at your gauges. Now the reason why we unload the powder to go to the silo is because you see that blue truck right there, that's the mixer truck. Basically they collect the powder that we unload, and then those mixer drivers take the cement powder and goes to construction sites so they can let the construction machine use the concrete. Okay, we officially sucked out most of the powder. I'm gonna turn on the pressure all the way on, but I'm gonna turn everything off because we want to make sure that there's no more pressure going into the tanks. But we leave the pressure on for the line because we don't want to cut off too suddenly. Turning off the PTO. Now we're going to go back to the back trailer, and then we're going to fully close the pressure. We're going to open the blower, just make sure we have any pressure that's built up released. And then now we close the line pressure, and then we're going to take off the hose. Okay, now we're just checking if there's any more cement. Not too much cement inside, so that's a good sign. And we unloaded most of it. This is an old trailer, so we're not going to get 100% of it. We're just closing the lid for the back trailer. And then we're just hammering it down, making sure it's locked. We officially got all the levers back to its original position, which is turned to the off position. Now we're going to hook the hose into the front trailer, and we're going to repeat the same process all over again. And usually the front trailer is a little faster unloading compared to the back trailer. I don't know why, it just is. So like I said, we're just going to lock in the hose, make sure it doesn't move out. We're going to close this lever. We're going to make sure the blower for the trailer is closed because we don't want no pressure to be released. We're going to open the pressure for the line. And then now we're going to go back in, turn on the PTO, set the RPM to a minimum of 8. So that's what I'm doing here. Now we get back out quickly to make sure that the tank pressure is at least 5 psi, and then we're going to turn on the pressure for the line. Right now it's in a closed position. So we're just waiting for that pressure to build up to appropriate psi. We turn on the pressure, and then we turn on the tank line. I know I'm butchering all these terms. Maybe some of you guys who's watching this knows all the terms, but I'm just using some basic terminology that's easy for me to explain while we watching this video. And I'm opening this line because it basically, from what one of the other drivers told me, it pushes the air from the top downward, so it makes suction a little easier for the first half of the process. And you can see here a mixer driver is backing up to the silo where I'm unloading at, and he's basically going to collect the cement powder. But yeah, we're just standing around making sure the air pressure is not too much and not too little. We want it in the middle. We want it basically perfect. So I'm just going to walk back here to the rear trailer, turning on the blower all the way, releasing all the pressure out, and we're just double checking, waiting around, and that's it. Alright, so the air pressure for the gauges have gone completely to 0. So now we're just turning off the levers, leaving the line pressure on to make sure that any cement that's left over can be sucked out. We're going to turn on the blower just a little bit because the guy's right next to it, and we want to release some pressure in the tanks. We're going to turn off the PTO, most important part. We don't want that running when we're unhooking everything, or you're going to have cement blowing all over your face. Now we're going to fully turn on the blower. We want to release all the pressure. This is a good, part where you want to wear a mask because you have all this cement blowing in your face, and you want to breathe that in. So we're going to unhook the hose, and as you can see, there's some pressure built up. That's why there's dust blowing out, because we didn't fully release the pressure. But I already knew that because I didn't want to release all the pressure with the guy standing next to the truck. So we're just going to lock in the latches so this cap doesn't fall off when we're driving. We're going to put the hose back to the original position of where we found it, because 1, it'd be easier for the next driver, and 2, the dispatchers always complain if you don't put it back in the original position. So here we go. We're just putting everything back, making sure that everything's locked in position. Looking good. Turning the blower all the way on, and then we're going to go in the truck and get out of here. That was actually one of my fastest unload times. That's actually good because this trailer is really old compared to the other trailers that my coworkers have. So unloading this trailer is super slow, and they were in a rush because the silo that I'm on is empty. But yeah, unloaded it pretty decently fast. Now we're gonna leave this plant, park outside real quick, do our paperwork on our departure time. Gotta make sure we don't fall into the dip. There's a little edge on my left side, so we gotta hug the right. It's a little tight. But yeah, it's super loud outside when we unload it. So for most of the video probably I was gonna do voiceover, so note to self, voiceover on the unloading part, because it's way too loud to talk over the camera. So now we're gonna patiently leave the plant. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of mixer drivers parking, moving, all that, so I gotta make sure, give them room. They also gotta give me room too. busy today. So summer is one of the busiest times for trucking, especially for cement, because you know people want to build houses, so they got to get their cement. So I'm actually going to park on the curb real quick so I can do my paperwork and switch out batteries, because my battery is almost dead on the freaking GoPro. All right, so next, well, first of all, we have to do our paperwork for our departure time. And like I said, we're gonna head on to the loading plant and then come back here to unload. To our load side here, load up the cement on our truck. So we're just gonna go drive straight. There's not really any clear directions. I mean, they have signs that tell you where to go, but if you're new, you get confused. But since I had a trainer, he tells me what to go, where to do. So I'm familiar with this cement plant. Just gonna go straight, all the way straight. So we're gonna just go ahead and line up behind this trucker. Get ready. And then when I park, we're gonna have to go on a catwalk, lower the whatchamacallit, walk on the tanker on top and open the latches to get the tankers filled. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward, and there's substitute chocks, basically metal chocks on the front of us. So we're gonna have the rear tractor tires parked in there. That's our front. That's our rear. So we're gonna go ahead, unlatch this real quick. So basically this is the catwalk. If you have a manual thing to unlatch, you gotta go here and do it. What the hell? Come up here, unlatch this. Gotta bring it up a little bit. There we go. Got a t-shirt on because it's leaking on top. So I put this t-shirt so when I'm unloading it, not too much air pressure is leaking. Let me tie this real quick. I'm wasting time doing this, honestly. Okay, let's get out. Okay, now let's go for the other one. So we'll step right here. Okay, and that's it. Now we got to go to the comms. Right in front of us, and we have to tell them what company we're from and tell them our truck number. Super loud too. A&A Concrete, truck 562.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Now we wait for the guy in front of us. Also, I need to put in the time I arrived here. So let's go ahead and chillax. So it's super narrow. The reason why is because they have those little, I don't know what you call them, but they're used to fill in our tankers. So we're gonna hug the left side on the yellow line in front of me. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, we just gotta make sure we're going straight in. So I'm just gonna look at my rearview mirror to try to just sit on that yellow line on my left side. We have a green light, that means we're gonna have to keep going. Obviously, red light means stop. See, that's what they're doing. They're putting it down in our tankers and load it up. And then when it's done, they're gonna give us a green light. We're gonna pull forward all the way to the other catwalk. We're gonna close the lids on top of our tankers, lock the latches, and then we gotta walk all the way back here and get paperwork in front of the office. Okay, the most important thing is the paperwork. You can't forget that. If you forget the paperwork, then my manager's gonna start yelling at me. Are the metal bars in front of us, acting like substitute chocks. And I realized I didn't really show you guys too good on top of the tankers. It was dark, so I'm gonna do that with the flashlight on this time. Okay, park here. Let's check if it's in the chocks. Okay, good. Let's go ahead. I'll turn on my flashlight this time so you guys can see really good what it looks like on top. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna put my t-shirt on because, no, I don't mean literally put it on, but I mean like put it on top because it's leaking air. So I gotta make sure put this on so when I unload it, there's not too much air is leaking through the hole. Okay, now this one is kind of annoying to put on. Compared to just having the remote control like some of my other co-workers, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Gotta really make sure it's sitting all the way in when we lock it. So air, like I said, won't leak. Because if the air is leaking on top, it's gonna unload a lot slower. And everybody's complaining. And then usually I just kick it in and stomp on it, make sure everything's good. It's good. Come here. Pull the chains, make sure it's locked, it's good. And we come on this side, step right here on the pedal. Push forward, and we're gonna lock this one up too. Same thing. Yeah, you don't want to fall in there. That would suck. You gotta lock this one first. It has a little fucking thing. before I forget, we gotta go get the paperwork. Let's go ahead and get that. Just gotta walk inside by the office door. They should have the paperwork ready. That's all we're gonna do is collect it. Gotta dig it. All right, that fellow trucker was nice enough to get the paperwork for us, so we didn't have to walk all the way there. It's pretty chill indeed. Now, what we're gonna do is get the heck out of here and back to the same unload site. So yeah, this is easy, just basically it. Typically, this is it. And very repetitive. Just back and forth to the same unload site and to the same load site. So I'm going to be coming back here 2 more times at least, depending if they're busy, and then I got to go back to the unload site. So very repetitive. There's not going to be too much going on after this. I'm probably not going to film the 2 separate times of me unloading and loading, because very repetitive, same thing. I'm probably just gonna skip through that, and I'm just gonna show you my post trip and end it off with my final thoughts. So I'll see you at the end of the day probably. If nothing interesting happens, I'll just see you at the end of the day. So yeah, let's keep on trucking. It is daytime now, the sun is out, it's not nighttime anymore. So like I said, all I did was load and unload at the same place that I showed you this morning. It was just very repetitive. I just did that a few times. You know, a couple hours later or several hours later, I am going back to my original plant where I did my pre-trip. Now I'm gonna park this truck and we're gonna do our post-trip, and then we're gonna get out of here, you know, because today was a long day. I worked about 12 to 13 hours already, but the job is easy, so I don't really mind the hours, you know, more hours, more pay. But yeah, we're gonna come in here and then we're gonna drive around and then we're gonna just park. So since I'm gonna be the last one here, we're gonna have to just kind of wait, drive around somewhere. I think I have room to maneuver around. I don't know what that guy is doing, but I have room. It's tight, but it's all good. You get used to it, maneuvering around in tight spaces. Just gotta make sure you look in your mirrors and move slowly. So we gotta basically make a big old U-turn because we're not able to back up with these tankers. It's pretty difficult. Well, for me, since I'm new to driving tankers, I'm used to driving dry vans, but it's just easy just to drive straight forward, you know what I mean? Let's see, since it's packed, what we're gonna do, we're gonna drive behind the other tanker trucks, so when I leave and nobody's here in the morning, like let's say I'm the first one, I could just go around. So we're just gonna go like this, hug the left a little bit, and then we're gonna turn. We gotta leave that spot open in case the mixer drivers want to go through back and forth, and I'm just chilling here. So yeah, hey, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm freaking tired, bro. It's been well over 13 hours. I've been working technically since midnight, and it's 1400, well past 1400. Okay, now let me back up just a little. Okay. Made like kind of like an L shape, so it's easy for anybody to, if those cars actually do have to leave, they can just leave there. But yeah, anyway, so that was the day in the life of me cement driving. It's a pretty easy job. The only problem is my cement truck is freaking slow when it sucks the cement out of the hose, and the other drivers have better trailers, and they suck it out pretty good. But yeah, but besides that, the job's easy, just driving, waiting around, chilling, and you get paid by the hour, so it's all good, you know. 13-14 hour shifts is whatever for me. But yeah, so this is me working as a cement driver. Hope you like what you saw, like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and peace.